So no, it is not a bait and switch. It is. I did not take the error. I will not take responsibility because I did not mean for the error at 6 o'clock. I have no idea why it says TM reviews here because that's not right. That looks a lot better for me, but we all know this is what we want to see. So first of all, I hope everyone had a great and amazing holiday. I hope everyone had a safe holiday. I hope a lot of people got a lot of cool things that they wanted. And more importantly, I hope everyone's ready for the new year. But the most important thing we need to know is that it's time to...
Fab Studios presents Figure Action. That one's me.
So what's up, everybody? It's me, Trustarscreamer. All by my lonesome, because... Well, wait, hold on. It might be getting a little more interesting, because we have a rare moment right here.
What's up, everybody?
Matt, thank you!
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right.
Because I was running out of things to say. Did you have a Merry Christmas?
I did. I had a pretty good Christmas. I really didn't get anything per se. So everybody knows that I just kind of pick up stuff as I go. So most collectors I'm hard to buy for.
Nets.
So, yeah, a few things that I did pick up though. Let me see. So I've got Magic Square's Blast Off, which is really good figure. I'm looking forward to putting Bruticus together, but Sony has all the other bots, so I got to send this to him for review, and hopefully he can send them back to me. I'm hoping.
I've heard it's an experience putting them together.
So I've transformed them all into limb mode. It's not bad. Like, people are just bitching to bitch. It's really not that bad. They're fine. They're complicated for sure, but they're fine. I had the line that I swore I was going to stay out of. I ended up picking up the MDLX Megatron.
How the hell did you get convinced to do that?
I was influenced by some photography that you can check out on Dave's Instagram. But he's good. I've got the I got some Amazon. So I did get some Amazon gift cards for Christmas. So I have they have allowed me to get the YOLO Park Megatron model kit, and I have the Optimus, the MDLX Optimus on pre-order from Entertainment Earth, because apparently he's sold out everywhere. So they're doing another run. So I'll pick him up. The last thing I picked up. So, hey, Team Matt. Oh, so we have Mike in the chat, but not in the show. So
I'm looking at a very important project.
So it's interesting because there's been a store that's popped up, right? This Paul Mart.
Mm-hmm. I've heard.
No one that I know is none of you guys, anybody that I talk to has been aware of its existence prior to the Gray Ryu.
Correct. I can
Street Fighter. So I saw on one of the groups that I post, they said that this was in stock and ready to ship on there. So I said, you know what, I'll take a chance. But I ended up, they were right. So Paul Mart has the Jada. They didn't have Fireman, but they had Ice and Mega Man. So I figured he was $5 with shipping. He was $5 extra what I was going to pay on BBTS. So I was like, for $5 extra, I'll get in early and give it a shot. So I didn't get Iceman, but I still have him on pre-order, so I'll pay regular retail for him. But I wanted to get Mega Man in hand to see how he is, and he's very cool. He's like, I will say, he's probably, just because of the design, his articulation is not going to like be as wow as the Street Fighter figures, but the finish, like he's got different finishes. I don't know if you can see. So he's got like a matte torso, but he's got very shiny, like robotic parts all over him. It's a really cool. He's well painted. The articulation's good. I mean, it's good considering how beefy the pieces are. Tons of accessories, blast effect stand, the effect stand, Mega Buster hand, regular hand, a bunch of different hand options, and an alternate shouting head, or like a very intense angry head. So he's good. I'm happy this line exists, and I will certainly be picking them up. Especially
It
at
looks
the price point.
really good. I mean, the only other representation at that size was the D Arts figures, and they are now
and they're hard to get now. So this Mega Man exists in one of the toy lines that I you don't get much out of. So obviously there's not a whole lot of Mega Man figures, and Castlevania is the same way. I want Castlevania figures so bad, but Mega Man figures, this never made sense to me because he has more alternate color repaints than the Seekers. Like, you could literally take this guy and recolor him and re-release him. How many per each Robot Master in each game? And you have it all built into the same figure. And then, the Robot Masters
buy the color and the weapon effect.
And the weapon effect, you're going to probably make that same weapon effect for the Robot Master, so you're going to get double use out of it anyway. So I never understood why no one tackled the old school Mega Man series, especially with all all these parts. Marvel Legends loves to reuse bucks and body pieces. That's all this is. So super excited they're going to be doing it. I've ranted long enough about it. Really good figure. Dave, have you talked about what you've acquired and how you've been?
I mean, like I said, survived the holiday.
And hi, T-Man.
Cooked up a storm.
Collectibles or Aurora Monroe?
Neither on that one, but I did cook an amazing prime rib. A whole lot of shit showed up at my house all at once. It was just like these boxes just kept dropping and dropping. I was actually able to shotgun a couple reviews out right now because I'm trying to get all this stuff in for 2023 so I can try to do a best of for the year. Because it's like one of those times where a lot of the toy lines really were saving the best for last. Don't fall. I mean, a couple things. Like, I got Doc Ock in, which I do have the review up, and he came broken, unfortunately. So I got to try to do a call to customer service for Hasbro on that. Shadow Tracker, which I know Mike's doing a review for, so I won't get too much for it, but I do have a review. And that was
the Walmart exclusive, right?
Yeah, this is the Walmart exclusive. And it's like, this is one of those figures that could have been one of the figures of the year if it wasn't for a couple design choices. Like, I love 85%, 90% of this figure. Spoiler, it's the damn vest.
Princeton's got you figured out.
This is the shit.
Yeah, he called it. He said Mutton Junkyard.
Yeah. No, it is. I will fail. I put the review up last night of this guy. This guy, Junkyard, is absolutely amazing. There's like if this is the standard for the new Joes, awesome. But the problem is any lousy Joe is just gonna be looking even more lousy compared to this because they're doing it with this, Oh, haven't opened them up yet, but I also got Green Goblin.
I heard mostly good things about that.
Same here, except for the lack of boot swivel and ab crunch, which I'm debating. I know I can't add boot swivel, but I'm debating if I could break out the Dremel to give ab crunch. And this is like the sleeper hit because I took her out and messed with her. This Astrobot figure. Like I took. You guys don't know this, but this figure I did take out and I took some really fun photos with. Matt can attest. She can absolutely do some cool things that you really wish every female figure could do, and she can do it. So I'm hoping to try to get this review out by Sunday. But yeah, and then finally,
she's in my big bad pile of loot. But that's
you'll enjoy.
Her sister is excellent. The sister mold. So,
and then slight spoiler for my review. If you saw the cover, but I just posted this review up for this big guy. So I got a bear.
Is he? Is that? It's weird. They would specifically pick an Italian bear. He's just holding spaghetti. It's weird.
Or send you.
It is what it is.
It's
but
spaghetti.
That is my stuff. I know we got T-Man here. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
I had a Merry Christmas.
You'd be surprised. But
T-Man's working with that dial up.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, it looks like you're calling us from 1995, but it's fine.
Oh. Well,
you're
I had
good.
a feeling something was going to be bad. Oh. But what did I get?
What did you get that you want to talk about? How about that?
That's a good way to put it.
This for Christmas. Iron Factory Heat Death. It's a dragon, and it looks like Megatron inside of that box. I got this Christmas. Chun-Li. She's cool.
She's definitely one
debating on. I think I might just do a chill comparison review of her and the SH Figuarts. She's really good, but SH Figuarts has some really good stuff too.
True. But for $50,
and this
between the two, you didn't think they have a $50 difference.
Well, I got it for cheaper than that. But I got this thingy right here in Big and Me. This Icaband. Yeah. This is awesome.
This is a spider guy.
I put up the review last night. She's a spider lady. That's how they can totally get away from Marvel by calling her a lady.
The thing on Showzy says Spider Girl.
That's the old name. It's Spider Lady. But this is one of the few figures that I barely had any type of complaint with. Like either mode. The bad things about it is good, like the joints being too tight. But it has a ton of joints and a whole bunch of articulation and a whole bunch of variation. And I show a lot of stuff in the review. So check it out. And I guess that's it. Oh, wait.
You've almost convinced me to buy her.
I got this.
That's a little bumblebee. That's a little bee.
He is very little, but he is very crazy posable. Like a tiny deluxe official figure that has an ab crunch. Who would have figured that would happen? And he can actually look up. Why do I keep getting minimized? Thank you. But here we go.
He's the star, damn it. Make him bigger.
One of the people down there next. I'm done. I'm good.
After that bitching.
Yeah, damn it. Sony, welcome. Happy holidays. Hope you had a great Christmas. It's good to see you.
I did. It was rough because I was in and out of the hospital with my dad, but he's better now. He's out of the hospital today.
Yay!
Yay!
So it's good. I got some stuff.
The best gift of all.
That was the best gift of all. I have to agree.
I say that non-sarcastically too, by the way. Just to put that out there.
I forgot to show here. All right, I'm gonna get off camera for 1 second.
Professionals, everybody. We're professionals.
He's back. He's back. As Mike does. Mike, that was the slow sitcom spin. Good job.
Hi.
That was jiffable.
All right, I got this thing here. Let me turn off this virtual screen. Here we go. Mask.
Yes.
Vanessa is her name, and this is the
Fighting
mantle.
overtime, fighting crime, fighting crime.
So I'm a big 300. My dad had a 300ZX, so this happens to be a 300ZX, and it's got like all the branding on it back when they didn't need licensing. So it's awesome.
Is that true? That they didn't need licensing back then, or
Well,
did they get it?
This isn't licensed by Nissan, but it says 300ZX all over it. So,
Gotcha.
You gotta remember, tracks back in the day in the cartoon said RX-7 on it.
yeah.
I don't gotta remember that.
Let's see.
That was one of my favorite Mask figures back in the day.
I got this from Sam. So I went to his house over the holiday week, actually the week before the holiday, and I did a video of his collection. It's an amazing collection. Probably the most amazing collection I've seen. And I saw this kind of hidden in the corner, and I was like, hey, can I buy that from you? And apparently he had two, and he sent me one of the two for Christmas. So that was nice.
That was
I wanted it
the
because
Baltimore
it's a
exclusive.
Chosen Prime exclusive.
Yeah, that was it. Figure that they give you a Megatron for pistol for a Baltimore exclusive. Anyway, go ahead.
I got this. So my Hot Wheels collecting has pretty much come to an end, but I never got this one just because it was pricey. But this is the Hot Wheels Premium Time Machine
Gotcha.
DeLorean. So I think that's it. I think I'm done with Hot Wheels. I got all the ones I want.
Until they come out with something else nostalgic related.
It would have to be
You can
like a significant movie or TV show.
You know,
Sure.
James Bond, Aston Martin.
We do have a question from the chat, Sony. Why do you have a Home Depot smock on display behind you over your left shoulder?
So my basement is a mix of my toys and my daughter's toys. So usually I have the camera pointed towards my toys so you don't see all her stuff. But today I was lazy and that's her smock. We went to Home Depot. They had this thing where you build your own what's that thing called? You toss bean bags?
Cornhole?
Cornhole. You build your own cornhole. So, and you paint it, and it's like build your own stuff basically with your kid. So we did that, and she got the Home Depot thing from there. That was a long answer.
Sweet.
There. Matt, how are you doing? Or did you go already?
I'm good, but I real quick I will say, so I took the hip skirts off of the MDLX Megatron. I mean, besides the bulging, midsection there on his crotch, like I don't hate that. I think that's not too bad.
Well,
they are a
those
little
skirts
annoying.
are not difficult to remove. All you have to do is move the leg forward, and they go flying across the room.
Well, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Just feed him some alcohol. That'll get his skirt off too.
Right, and if I just put the front skirts on, it's fine. Like I might just go with that look because the side skirts are annoying too. Anyway,
I actually Bumblebee.
okay.
I took them off. It's way better. Way better.
Yeah,
Mike!
So, Mike.
What's up?
Mike,
You gotta pay
look
attention.
surprised that you're interacting with us, but you showed up here, so
I know.
you knew what this was about.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
How are you doing, Mike?
Tired. I've been working every day since I guess before Christmas and all that other stuff. So, but
Is that a
That's
helix in your
insane.
hand, or are you just happy to see us?
say what?
Is that an Agent Helix in your hand, or are you just happy to see us?
It's one of my helixes that I was messing with. But let's see.
Well, no.
Christmas. Yeah, I got two. So, let's see what. All right, I got some stuff in. Christmas is good. Kids tore up the house and got a bunch of stuff. And I got a couple things too. So mostly some stuff for camera, for my camera and lighting area here, and some more 3D printing filament. But figure wise, I got these dudes in. So pretty cool. I don't know if I ever showed that I got the General. So now I can get my car insurance for free.
Why didn't I use that gag in my review? That's brilliant.
I don't know. Let's see. This guy came in this week.
Ooh,
So it's
what's
pretty
the
neat.
spear from?
What's that?
What's the spear from?
I took that from the Marvel Legends Black Panther 2 Atuma Build-A-Figure because his original toy had a spear, and I think he needed it more than anything else. So I got that, and I just grabbed a little plastic mesh 4-inch circle and made that for the his net.
That's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that?
And
You're smarter than me.
well, I'm also going to cut away that vest, and I'm going to paint this extra Valiverse coat to give him a little more articulation. So, but I'll do that later. The last thing that came for 2023, very last toy, and it came in from 5K, but I got this guy in.
Oh, cool.
So it's pretty neat. A lot of crap to try to put on him. So, but he came in last night, and my nephew and I were messing around with it. It was really cool. It was a nice little bonding moment because he was excited to look at some videos that I had done, and he was like, "Oh, well, you need to do this, and you need to do that." So I was like, "All right, you're 11. Thanks. You probably know more than I do." But yeah, that's pretty much it, dude.
For the record, I use my 11-year-old. I use her as my as my camera for helping place my camera and everything else.
Oh yeah, no, I no. There's no rooming down here for anyone else besides me. So I like it that way. And McLaren, what were you saying with the his tank? Making it cry? Yeah, don't look at any of this crap because all this is going to change. This is going to get thinned out. This is actually going to get some better placement. So, yeah, it's a lot of work you get to do. Anyway, what about you, Dave? Where'd you already go?
We were keeping it quick, but
You're the last.
Yay!
we literally have only one teeny piece of news really to talk about tonight, and then the rest of it's just going to be just talking. It's going to be chilling. It's going to be relaxing. So,
Excuse me.
the news itself is very minor because it's only about, while it is third party, it's also about a Legends scale figure, and it's our cover piece tonight.
Oh yeah.
So, and that is the fact that New Age is putting out 3 sea sprays.
4.
4?
Yeah.
But we have
5.
2. I think the original, the animation, help me out here, Sony. The Shattered
Man
Glass.
of War. Yeah.
There's 4.
G1, Man of War, Shattered Glass,
Octopunch.
and the Octopunch one, which
Octopunch.
all the ones, this is the weirdest one for me to do.
Wait, there's no
What
gold.
the hell is an Octopunch? And what the hell is the Man of War? I don't explain those to me.
Well, Octopunch was a pretender.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
They didn't do Generation 2?
Yes. Well, there was, of all the colors though, I only had, you guys know my brain is weird about this. It's weird. So I try to think of stuff that everyone pretty much forgets about because that's just how my brain is. And I was thinking of why would they do an Octopunch when I think I would have much preferred having a Share screen here. Not that one. I got him queued up here. Short round from Cybertron, because this guy was always supposed to be a sea spray anyway.
Oh,
I would say so this is New Age we're talking about. Give them time.
They-
Like you said, there's no G2, right? Or was
they
that
said
one
very
G2?
specifically they're not doing G2 or any other crazy repaints, which surprised me.
Why did they say what they said that on a post?
Yeah. So
They-
the post where I found those pictures to begin with,
Yeah.
it was the guy saying, "Hey, these are the 4. They'll be in 2 packs," which is not usual, not typical for them. And they said this is it. They're not making any more.
They
I thought that
are they trying to make Matt Baldwin cry? Because he'll do it. He'll cry over that.
It's possible.
He needs because it doesn't make because isn't Sea Spray in the Golden Lagoon episode?
Yes, he
Yep.
is.
So that's a no brainer of a repaint
That's a
there.
bare minimum repaint.
Right. Yeah, that's weird. I maybe that person that posted that is fired from social media. Maybe it's just a misinformation campaign. They like money. They'll do it. I'm sure.
Eventually, probably.
But that is literally all the news we got, because everyone else is smart and taking stuff. And I figured we should just have some fun with this. I mean, it is towards the end of the year. I kind of mentioned this in chat. I'm not saying for us to do our top 5s or top 10s, but I did kind of want to at least hit the 3 figures that we purchased this year. One that's a really good one, as in whether it be, oh my gosh, this is my favorite figure, or oh my gosh, this figure surprised me. One that was frankly a bad one, and then one that was the why did I even consider putting my money into.
So I'll actually start real quick because one popped into mind as and I'll throw it out as one of my, because I tend not to buy. The worst lists are hard for me because I don't.
They are. Oh no, they are.
I do a lot of research before I buy stuff. I very rarely blindly go into something. So if I buy something, I'm pretty sure it's going to be something I'll enjoy. And if it's not, and I got it from Amazon, I return that shit because Amazon's got more money than me. So I don't feel bad about that at all. With that preface, I will say that a figure, and this is an Amazon return, and this is going to surprise probably Dave. The figure that I bought this year that was the most disappointing was the Fury Planet Tiger Dude.
I haven't taken him out of the box yet.
I took him out. I messed with him. It's a gorgeous figure. It's painted beautifully, but I am a kindred soul when it comes to collecting with T-Man, that I need my figure to be able to pose. And this thing just was a finicky mess to pose. And on top of that the hard plastic candy shells of clothing and cape on it ruined the whole thing for me. I know you could take them off, but that was half the charm of the figure, so I didn't like that. And then they I guess they had a third-party add-on kit for it that replaced it with soft goods clothing that was more expensive than what I paid for the figure. So I bundled all that back up nice and neat, and I returned that shit. So again, wasn't a bad figure. I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going
No, and actually, you know what? That's kind of what I want to hear. I don't want it because, again, a lot of us, we're not just buy it all, collect it all. We are very cherry pickers,
right.
and I would almost be saying that cherry that you picked, and you're like, "Ooh, this is gonna be wow, God, that was a bad call." You're like, that is a perfect example.
And that's exactly how I felt about that figure. Like if I was to just take it out of the box, slightly pose it with its accessories, and put it on a shelf, I'd probably be happy. But the new toys usually live on my work desk for a few weeks while I mess with it and get to know it and all this and that. So there's actually a few Mezcos I would have returned too if the Mezco had made it easy, but those go on eBay, so it's fine. But yeah, so that's the. I'll start off with that.
I got one. As far as
Go,
a
go,
disappointment,
man.
I don't know if it was a why did I buy it, because I really, really wanted it and I still liked it, but I didn't return it. But it was disappointing. The exclusive G.I. Joe Classified Series Chuckles, like all of the reasons why you wanted it, besides the beat up face, like the headphones and glasses and stuff, like none of that really works with them because it's made out of dumb gummy plastic and they fall off. Like the cassette player falls off his belt, the binoculars fall off the belt. It's like so frustrating trying to do the main things you want to do with them, and those were the main reasons why you get them, all those extra accessories, because it was like comics
And
it was
like,
a
but that stuff
deluxe.
too, you got to think that like Mike could print 3D print like 1/12 scale sound wave and blaster and all that boombox.
But would they stay on the belt? Well, if he prints it with a little knob to fit through the belt, I guess. Like
Yeah,
they
He's
did.
very talented. I'm sure he could do that.
I just borrow a scanner and you can scan it and then just pre-print it out. But it's better in resin than the filament stuff that I have. So I'd have to get a resin printer, and I'm not sure.
So you can make
So just
you can
go
make
do
new
that
buzzer
for us.
glasses this whole time.
Say what now?
You can make new buzzer glasses this whole time.
Ooh.
I've been watching ways for a lot of people that have been making buzzer glasses out of aluminum cans.
Huh.
They just take an aluminum can and they get their little hobby scissors and they just cut it to length and just a couple little bends, and you got something not too dissimilar to what the OG stuff was. Or you can spend $20 and get it from Gridiron, but I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah, nah, not just
Not
for
that
glass.
$20 for those. Yeah, those. But
So
That's almost the price of the figure. So.
yeah.
Yeah, Gridiron's good stuff, but it is a little pricey for what it
I
is.
I wasn't saying that as like, oh my god, it's crap. I'm just saying like there's stuff
Right.
available, but you're gonna pay for it.
But you're
Oh,
gonna.
look up
I'll
the
just live with the Gorilla Glue on his hair.
How about you, Sony? Any figure that you just like?
I'm just gonna stick to action figures since I spend all my other time talking about Transformers.
Well, no. Like for example, I mean, I could probably say one that would be a great example of a why did I buy
I
this?
know you have a lot of bad Transformers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Flames Toys Jazz was one that really surprised me because they're really expensive. So right off the rip, you're already like judging it as soon as you get it, and then past precedent, they have like pieces that fall off, and it's just not fun to play with. But Jazz was really good. I was really surprised. It is expensive, but as an action figure,
So you're saying that is a good thing?
it's a very good action figure.
Okay.
Are you asking about regretted?
No, you just preface by whatever you're going to talk about. We talked about some bad things,
Yes.
and then you're like, Jazz is on this list for sure. We didn't know which direction.
We're like, okay.
Yeah.
So
But
Jazz,
Jazz is what surprised you.
Yeah, it surprised me for sure that it was as good as it was. The Rodimus was pretty good too, but not like anywhere near as good as that Jazz. Also, MDLX, the Rodimus was really good. Like,
just about to ask you about that.
I didn't
I was
have any
opening my
issue.
mouth to ask you about.
that was pretty fun. And then the model kits, those little blocks model kits, they're super cheap. They're $7 each. Those surprising for the money, pretty good.
So I see people saying that they're $6 or $7 a piece. Can you buy them individually, or do you have to buy the packs?
No, you can't. I mean, only in China. In here, you had to buy them. They're blind box, so you're supposed to buy them random and just get a character. But
so
here
there's $7 plus a $3,000 plane ticket.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's right.
Any good standouts for you this year, Mike?
I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of really good stuff. that's come across here. I'd say look at what I've done, but I haven't really done anything in like the past 2 months. But I mean, surprisingly,
Hey, I forgot Chun-Li. Chun-Li was very good.
yeah. There you go. There's one example. Was the transitioning a lot of stuff within my collection this year. I mean, there's less focus on this, and it was more of a shift of like action figure type stuff or anything else. But it was a lot of hit and miss in regards to finding anything that I liked within Marvel Legends.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a lot of the indie stuff that came out this year. Animal Wars of the Kingdom, I picked up a lot of their stuff, and that has been really surprising in regards to the quality and like the paint deco for their armor. Really, really great stuff. As Sony said, Jada, they've only come out with like three characters for now, but I mean when you had Ryu and he was already really awesome, and then you see Fei Long and then Chun-Li, you can see kind of like the improvements of stuff. I mean, that's another really cool thing. Another item, as Matt mentioned, was branching out into more of the high-end type of figures, and that was with Mezco stuff. And of the ones I've collected and purchased, minus the gift of a Craig, which is really cool. Two really standout figures that I have. One's older and one is new. Is Destro is really awesome. I just like keeping them in the boxes now until I actually figure out where I want to display them properly. And then another one that I got from a mutual friend of Sony and I, Jason. He actually sold me this Green Lantern.
Ooh.
And it, this is the Hal Jordan version. Sorry for the noise for a second. But like, a lot of people say with Mezco, like the soft goods don't look good on the figure or anything like that. But I would disagree with this guy. I think he looks really sharp. Articulation is really nice. I mean, this guy it's a natural pose. Him, you just stand him somewhere and he looks great. So it's been a good year in regards to finding something that kind of reaches back in time for that you like when you were younger, and finding these new little elements, and hoping for 2024 that we get some payoff with some Kickstarters that I backed, and that was a main thing.
I will 100% agree with you on the Mezco soft goods. I very rarely see. I know some people think that soft goods on a 1/12 scale are shitty looking, but I very rarely see a Mezco figure with soft goods that I think looks bad. I think they do, and not just Mezco, but the 5K like third party stuff, whatever. All those are home runs. Like I've never seen a really poorly done soft goods on a figure. Sure, they exist, but the ones that are coming out now are aces. They're awesome. And I also real quick want to say Mariano, I absolutely agree. I forgot about that figure. She is probably one of my tops of the year. And that's the Samus Aran Dread version from Figma. The only thing that sucks about her is the price. She's about $30 overpriced.
You didn't talk about your surprise figures yet. So.
Oh yeah, Jada.
Surprise figures?
Mega Man?
I mean, all your favorite figures of the year, whatever.
Oh, we have.
So I will say that a home run surprise for me is going to be, this isn't the highest quality figure in the world, but it's shocking, and that's the Metal Bear Voltron, the knockoff of the Blitzway Voltron. Because I had said I'm comfortable never having owned the Blitzway Voltron because I'm just not going to put that money down for it. But getting the Metal Bear, like, it absolutely scratched that itch and filled that place. I had to do, most people's, I believe, was pretty good out of the box. I had to do some mechanical work on the hip joints to get it to function correctly because my ratchets were so tight it was shredding the die cast inside. So I had to do some retooling, and I kind of scarred my thumb doing it. So I always have that to remember it by. But once I got it fixed up, like it's awesome. It's definitely a centerpiece, and it's a KO for a fraction of the price. So very happy about that. That's definitely one of my surprising.
I think everyone had to put the legs back on for Voltron.
Well, and you figured out the leg secret, right? That they weren't poorly made. They just weren't snapped down all the way.
Yeah.
So
you
put out that video that helped that fixed mine right away. So
I hate to.
We did get a question.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, we did get a question in the chat. Where was it? What do you guys regret not buying? I do have an answer for that too, real quick. And that is it's still available, but I'm kind of on a spending hold right now because recovery from the holidays and everything. And I'm afraid by the time I have the money for it, it's going to be gone again. But I really want to pick up the, what's it called? The Optimus Prime, Magnificent Mecha, Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, the bigger one that scales with that the Megatron that came out, the tank, what is it called? Metal, fuck, I can't remember. But the Magnificent Mecha Optimus Prime, it's still available, but it's too. Yes, Monocrat Mega Tank. Yeah, he scales with him and supposed to be the side piece with that side piece. But that's the figure that I regret not picking up, and I probably won't be able to because I just don't want to spend that $250 or $60 right now. So
we could work something out there.
I'm sure.
Oh, you already have it?
No, like we always do.
Well, the $260 is the show Z price.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about domestic prices, I don't think they're going to get cheaper than that.
Oh.
But what's nice is that anybody. So the thing about that is that if anybody didn't buy previously, the new version that's releasing now has the elbow fix. So his elbow now goes beyond 90 degrees. It actually does a full bend up. So there's a little thing there. They went back and retooled the elbow for the reissue. But I'll stop. I'm going on. You guys go with your stuff.
Yep.
Sorry.
Dave didn't go yet.
Sorry, Dave. All you.
Well,
go ahead, Dave.
Hurry up.
You can start now, Dave. Today, Dave.
So I would probably say, my standout figure. I mean, I said I'm going to be trying to do a top 10 later, but I would say of the figures I've picked up this year, one of the most standout figures I got was probably Veteran William from Fury Toys. I know, Matt, you sent back the Tiger, and I totally get why you sent back the Tiger, but Veteran William is everything that you were complaining about the Tiger. He can move, he can pose, he's got all this, so many options right now. I mean, I'm looking at him right now, and I've got him in regular werewolf mode. I think I still might want to put him back on display with the full veteran gear. As far as the bad would go for me, it would actually be a Mezco, and that was the Mezco Ghost Rider. For me, I'm probably one of the very few people in that party, but by putting that light up feature in the head, and I get why they did it, but not having any neck articulation really kind of killed it for me. And then I do actually, why did I buy it? It was a Figuarts figure, the Katana Man from Chainsaw Man. Because the Chainsaw Man was such an awesome figure. But the Katana version of him, just everything I liked about the chainsaw, he completely was like the counter to. He's got this jacket that kills his balance. Actually, the reasons you don't like the Tiger is kind of the reasons why I don't like the Katana guy, because his jacket impedes his articulation. And then just because we did have that one question of the things you regret not buying, I think it's probably the Lucky Cat Megazord. That when that becomes the cubes.
Yeah. So they took it was the release after their Voltron. Their Voltron was good. The Megazord improved on the Voltron in every way. The only disappointing thing about that, and I don't know if you've watched any reviews, is that the Tyrannosaurus Zord, the mouth doesn't open. It's sculpted as one piece, and that kind of bugs me. But that's the only thing that I don't like about it. Everything else is amazing.
I'm surprised none of you have said his tank yet.
Well,
Fuck that tank.
well, here's the thing. Again. In some ways, his tank is almost like a given. It's almost like saying Death Source is a given because those were the HasLab things. I like how we're kind of picking these choice things that pulled those emotions. You know, what made a figure that. I mean, the his tank. You spent that money. You were almost like it better than be good. And so it's kind of a blanket statement here.
I didn't feel that way about Death Source. That's why I asked, because it seemed like you guys.
Your disappointment, for example.
Say again?
Would you, of your purchases, is Death Source a disappointment for you?
I mean, I didn't purchase it, but it got sent to me, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't buy this because it wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, this is what I imagined when somebody said I'm gonna make a collector's edition. Whereas his tank, I think you guys got the This is the collector's thing.
Well, and again, the whole purpose of this was talking about cherry picking here of getting these cherries, you know, these ideal pieces, whether they're gems or not. Yeah. So his tank is almost like you're buying a cheesesteak from Philadelphia, and it's gonna be a good cheesesteak, and I'm happy I got it. But I'm like,
I don't think it was a surprise figure. I mean, it's a surprise that it's good or whatever. It's like what we expected. Now, and what we saw already, because it was demonstrated so many times.
Yep.
So it's like
it, by the way.
We got it, and it's as good as we wanted it to be.
Yeah, it would have been more surprising if there was a lot of QC stuff. So say like the figures that came with it, the legs were swapped, or you had two of the same legs, kind of what you had with your Star Saber from 2 years ago. That would have been more surprising and disappointing than anything else.
It would have been surprising if they put sounds in it, sound effects.
Exactly, things like that. But see, we got what we expected, and that was the thing. So with this topic, like what Matt's saying, he bought the Tiger. You know, I have that same Tiger, but for him, it wasn't moving the way he expected it to. So that's why he spent that money and was regretted, and that's why he returned it. You know, why did I get this? It's not doing what I wanted it to do.
Right, and just like everything else, I watched a bunch of videos on it, so I should have known what to expect. But for some reason, just in hand, it wasn't clicking with me.
See, I'm often entering into a space where I'm buying something and completely rolling the dice. I have no idea if it's going to perform, if it's going to live up to the value. And sometimes I'm literally the first video, and like there's no instructions. Good luck. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I wish I was a consumer and I could wait for the reviews and watch the videos and then buy, because I'd probably buy a lot less stuff.
Well, it's like, I guess, what would be a good, that ex-transbot James Bond, I heard was not everyone was happy with their purchase.
Yeah, that was one of my bottom figures.
Like, that would be a regret. Like, that was your regret. I expected this, and this is what I got.
Yeah, that one, it's about expectations. You know, I had really high expectations. It wasn't that it was suddenly different from what X-Transbots produce. It's just, it had been delayed.
It was on the heel of their Omnibot, though, which is really good.
I did like the Omnibot, but I also saw your copy before I got my copy. So
right, I took the gamble on that, and I like it. So
yeah.
I want to mention my surprise figures are probably the best number ones. Well, two of them. I already talked about Black Arachnia here and how she exceeded my expectations like that. Articulation is better than I expected. When I did the review, normally like with everything, I'll have like a lot of things to complain about that I don't like or something's not working right or whatever. But I barely had anything to complain about. So is shocking to me, and it looks good in both modes for me, and it works in both modes. And Roadblock from Mezco is another one where when I was doing the review, I barely had anything to complain about as far as him. And like he is so fun to like change around his gear and whatnot. He's so variable, just like her.
Yeah.
So it's like so much stuff you can do, and I like his faces, especially this one. We can be talking about the body massage and all that.
I think Mike's got something to show.
Oh wait, let's.
Oh, sorry. Anyway. Yeah, surprising stuff. For one, it's surprising I'm talking about Transformers. Two, it is this ST01. This was actually really nice to have in hand once I got him. You know, not that I'm one that's going to cry there about saying everything should be tuned, but this guy, compared to the options we have now, or have until now, this guy is really, really nice. He feels really nice, and quality's there for a third party. Other things I was happy with, MMC overall.
Yeah.
While they haven't put out a lot of stuff, I am extremely happy to have the opportunity to own their tapes that they released this year. So right now, just need Ramhorn. So hopefully we'll get that in 24. Stuff that was like, why did I even buy it? After watching you guys deal with it, was that stupid ass Power Glide. That hasn't even left the box, just because I don't really want to deal with it.
Maybe yours will be better.
What's that?
Yours
So maybe yours will be better.
Mine will be better in someone else's hand. But yeah, I mean, there's just been a lot of really cool things and other stuff that I didn't really think I would get into, like Legion stuff. I fell into that, and I'm really, that's one of those, like, you know, that's definitely a cherry picking situation, because a lot, you know, you could spend almost $500,000 on some older figures that, you know, why? But just the sculpt of them, of their figures, is really, really phenomenal. You know, the care and the look of things with them, just the way their painting and sculpt they're just really cool figures. So that's surprising as well. So MMC, good. Surprising, ST1, Legions. Regrets buying a lot of Transformers figures that I didn't really want, but I just bought them because I was going to look at them. And yeah, that's my rambling.
Okay. And then any hopes for 2024? Like, I hope this manufacturer makes this guy something that a pre-order we don't already know about. Like a great one for me is like classified figure making Road Pig. I think that would be an awesome thing for them to do.
Before we get into that, I have a why did I buy it? This Dusty, this Tiger Force Dusty.
Because he was $7.
Now I'm happy I did get it on clearance, but then I opened it and I was like, oh yeah, he's boring.
Well, see, a lot of people are using his head to replace Falcon, the Falcon head. Oh. If you take the paint off, his sculpt is a lot better and proportionate to the body compared to that big ass pumpkin head.
I never thought about that. And look, he still has blonde hair, right?
Yeah, you just got to paint it dark and it'll be good. Or just take a Sharpie to it, man. So, well, I do have a question before you guys start to talk about 2024. Now, we talked about figures and purchases and stuff, but for the collecting community, what is something that happened in 2023 which you liked, something you didn't like, and something that surprised the hell out of you?
Oh boy.
I'll start.
I didn't like. Oh, you can start.
I'll start. You said you came with a question. So, I mean, the good thing that came out, one of the good things that came out of 23 is an increase in inventory across the board for a lot of collectors. I mean, we got over close to 30 figures from Hasbro just for the classified series. And they've all been, other than the accessories, they've all been bangers, really. They've been improving the sculpt and everything. So just the opportunity and seeing a lot of these more obscure characters come up has been a plus. For something bad, I actually had to make this a twofer. One is the people factor. And that is, we saw some unfortunate news in regards to overall toy sales being down. And that unfortunately affects workforces for a lot of these companies. And that's always unfortunate to hear. We can talk about, I got this figure and all that figure. I mean, there's still a person that puts hands on it for you. And when they don't have that opportunity anymore, that kind of sucks. And in regards to that, the other thing that's really sucky about 24 is just people fucking toy drama bullshit, man.
Oh God, yeah.
It's really unfortunate that it still happens. I mean, it's never not been here, but
this year was just sick.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, whether you like a person, whether you like a company, whether you don't. I mean, it's just it wears you down. It wore me down with the Transformers community. It's wearing me down with like this whole I like this company, so you can't like this company type of stuff. I mean, it's getting old. Yeah, you can't like G.I. Joe and Valorverse at the same time.
You got.
I don't even know
out, man.
the debate you're talking about. Like, I'm not even in that community to know what it is you're referring.
It's in the Transformers community too, man. It's just saying in collectors all over. I mean, there's stuff that comes up.
Some people will be like, ugh, like if it's third party, they just can't like it at all.
Okay.
And there's some people who are only third party and if you talk about a mainstream piece.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess in our community, I'll talk about ERC. ERC, there's no discrimination against a particular, hey, you buy this and we're not going to buy this other thing. Which,
and ERC is an amazing toy community.
But you're saying if you're a G.I. Joe collector, then you get shit.
There's still a lot of people that are taking sides, like they only collect Action Force, or they really like Bobby Vala, and then they're complaining about Hasbro. So meanwhile, people like us are buying both of them and don't care.
Or they shit all over Action Force just because, Bobby Vala talks like, he talks like a shitty person. Yeah, well, I guess but there's shitty person all over the place. But
here's my 2 cents on that. So you have a group of people that go on and say take Valaverse and go on and you say shit on them, and I'm assuming by that you mean post negative videos about it and all over their white knighting all over Facebook posts.
There you go. I mean, you can be critical about something. You can say you don't like something. There's something like the gummy weapons for G.I. Joe stuff. I don't like.
None of that interrupts my ability to go to the website and order the shit that I want to order. So that shit is just dust in the wind, man. Like that's. But they feel the need to get their opinions out. That is awesome. I do not need to read that, or I can read it for comedic value.
The tribalism this year definitely hit some peak points. I mean, again, Hasbro weapons suck. Valaverse weapons are fantastic. Huh. Valaverse figures aren't all the shit, though. Every one of their female figures has some of the worst joints ever. I mean, I still bought them, but it's just. But you say something like that, oh my god, I would be getting attacked. I would be called a shill. I'd be called a simp. I'd be called.
That's crazy.
We just call you Dave.
So I guess I haven't experienced this at all this year, which is why I wanted to know about it because I haven't. If anything, it seemed like the opposite, but that's because I'm not in the communities you're in. Like I'm not in G.I. Joe.
You know for a fact there's still the whole X-Transbots fans toys crap that goes on, and that's happened in the past. But Unfortunately, it has. Unfortunately, I guess what I'm saying is it hasn't gone down as time goes on. It has either maintained or has elevated. Maybe not in every
even
community.
that though, even the fans toysiest fans toy fan is buying X-Transbot stuff, and the
Oh, I know they lie about it. And just like
You know.
like, oh, we buy X-Trans Watch, and you guys gave me shit because I bought a Fans Toys figure.
And you love it, right?
Why did you buy Warthog?
What's that?
And now you're
love
not
it,
even
right?
open it.
Well, no, I
And
opened it
Dave,
here.
without knowing, has provided the perfect example here because he said, and I quote, "Action Force females, would you say their joints were the shittiest, the worst?" And that's categorically untrue. They're not the shittiest joints ever. There are plenty of figures with worse joints than Valaverse female figures. But we all, as rational adults, understand what he's saying, that they are not the best that they could be, and they're not up to par with the other figures in the line. But people online can't understand that. How dare you? That's not the worst. Here's my list. I've spent 45 minutes compiling of figures that I own that are worse than the ones. You can't say that. That's a lie. They don't. That's
because it's a lot of a certain type of people in our community.
This is true.
That I won't mention.
And we can all agree, trying to get the hands off of a Valaverse figure is
A nightmare.
It can cause you to go to the dentist real quick if you're trying to pull it off.
I gotta tell you, anybody that gets those figures or any kind of third-party figures, if you don't have a hair dryer or a heat gun nearby your collecting station, at this point, you need to go spend the money and get one.
I warmed
that
them
travel
up
hair dryer I bought this year was a godsend.
Right. I went on during the Black Friday sale and bought an actual heat gun for like $10 on Amazon. I'm sure it'll burn my house down, but it's fine. It does. If it does that, all of the joints of my fingers will be the loosest they've ever been.
One thing I liked about this year is being able to go to Ross and Marshalls and whatnot and get all types of cool things that I've been wanting for very cheap. Like stuff I held out on buying at full price, and then boom, it's just there for way below the price. So that's awesome.
That was my surprise. My surprise thought of 23 was just the amount of stuff that the phrase "if I wait, it'll come,"
and it does.
Was so true this year in regards to action figure type stuff and retail Transformers and things of that nature. So
some stuff we didn't even have to wait. It was in the stores and at Ross at the same time.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
To be fair, you don't always. Some of that shit is hard to figure out, right?
Yeah.
What'll be hot and will sell like gangbusters and you'll never see again, and the shit that'll sit, or split the difference, like Cosmos. Like Cosmos was, everybody bought that thing the minute they found it in Walmart all the time. It was wiped out constantly. And you, T-Man, found two of them in Ross at discount price.
I can't believe that.
So that kind of shit blows my mind. You just, there's no predicting stuff anymore. It's hard to say.
No.
You never quite know. Like, you never know what figure is going to be the hard to get. So I understand fear of missing out. That's certainly a thing.
These they are exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. You don't expect to go on Hasbro Pulse and see this. And was Chuckles found? No, like Sergeant Slaughter and
Slaughter
all people. Like a lot of stuff that was store exclusive was there. That's nuts to me.
Yeah.
This year for me, I mean, first of all, there's still some aspects of distribution that still piss me the hell off. I never, for example, ever saw that buzzworthy Bumblebee Prime that I want. That I was sitting here going, I'm not buying mainstream, I'm not buying studio. That Bumblebee movie Prime, I was actually interested in. He never appeared there.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there's some things I could say that would cause a fight, so I'm not going to
say. He's just closer to the screen.
But so at least in North, I mean, like the Jada Toy Street Fighters. Yeah, they finally showed up here in North Carolina about 2 weeks ago. Like that type of thing. Something's just
Wow.
And that's there you go. So I sent a picture to our group chat a few weeks ago with 3 Chun-Lis at my local Target. 2 are still there. I was there last week. 2, no, I was there. Yeah, right after Christmas, I was there.
okay, anyone who's going to buy it already bought it online.
Right.
Yeah. She's been readily available on Amazon for a couple months now.
Yeah. And
I haven't seen her in the store yet. But luckily, Mike saw her. Thank you.
And then I saw 2 more of her at All Time Toys last week.
But
Do they have them at regular retail?
They were priced at $25 there.
Because I'm happy that they do that. A lot of their stuff is regular retail.
But
All Time Toy.
I mean, I'll probably say the highlight of 2023 probably is the rise of the independent company. You know, it's like the one thing we talk about here. Third party Transformers has had that third party. They had that third party renaissance back in the, early, the early 2010 era. This is like the year of third party everything else, whether it be third party soft goods stuff from the 5K toys, stuff like Memory Toys, Oliver, Legendary, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, all these off brands, but these alternate choices. It's really, I was like in a major collector's rut for a while. It's like, okay, what's Hasbro going to give me? That's all I'm going to get. I know it's going to be a mediocre figure, but that's all I can get. And now standards are rising. The whole Valverse the whole Action Force classified thing, I think it's been a great thing for the figures because their QC has been going up on both parties. The Kickstarter, well, I know I funded 2 Kickstarters this year, so fingers crossed actually getting the product.
I funded one that didn't make it.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're such a human of the street.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I did the Legendary toys, which those guys were awesome, and then I also did that the Combat Creature Battle Beast thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually, but then we had figures like Savage Crucible. We've got your dinosaur. Just some really neat stuff coming out.
Ramen Toy,
man, out of freaking nowhere. They're doing stuff of the mask figures, Centurions, and such.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time to be a big kid,
Yeah.
Which is basically a Caucasian guy in a black T-shirt and a pair of jeans. No. Sorry, man. Look at the statistics here.
I share your excitement in regards to like what we're going to see in 24. In with these companies that aren't under the big 2 or big 3, whatever you want to say.
Jada coming up out of nowhere.
Yeah. I got Savage Crucible. Hopefully they'll be shipping in February. So I'm excited to see that because that was my very first Kickstarter that I've ever backed. So I'm really hoping that it will live up to par. When I don't think I'm going to be disappointed with that. Meta Travelers, man. I mean, October can't be here soon enough. Hopefully we'll have a chance to have this again.
Expected.
Yeah, they're right now. They're in tooling right now and refining phase, I guess, as of in January. So, but yeah, they're still set for an October 24 release.
Cool.
So, but hi. But I mean, all sorts of cool things we got coming. Hopefully, some of you guys will actually complete a combiner here in 20. And I say that not being mean, but I'm hoping that after all this time, something will be completed, and all this long wait. I hope it's worth it. And I'm
so
sure
that's
it will
what I
be.
was going to bring up too about releases. So Fans Toys did I believe, 7 releases this year. MMC is releasing 1 protector bot a year, it seems like. And like
But
I
Protector
randomly
Bot
said,
Right.
I don't own any Masterpiece combiners at all. So when
I
they
don't
started
either.
coming out with those, I said, you know what? I'm gonna jump on that train. I'm gonna get my first combiner. I don't really care about Defensor, but MMC is a good company and they make good product. And here I sit